We also have issues like ADD, ADHD. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. I have a lot of parents that come to me because the school diagnosed their child with that and they don't want to put them on medication. There are times where medication is warranted, but there are a lot of times where we can prevent them from going on the medication, and that's one thing that I have done. I've helped a lot of children get off of their medication, depression, and for ADD and ADHD. The other thing is that leads with all that is cutting. Cutting is huge. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but a lot of kids now, they're cutting themselves. They internalize on their emotions. They don't know how to release them. I always say when you come in my office, I'd rather have you lay down and kick and scream and do whatever you have to do, but get that emotion out. It's okay, but then you have to, fix it and move forward. One of the clients that I had, just to give you an example, she comes from an excellent family, top of the line. The parents were really involved in this child's life, had a good, happy home life, and she was cheerleader. She was in sports. She got straight A's. She had tons of friends. But she was cutting herself, and no one knew it. So you just have to be aware of different signs and things to look for. And the biggest thing is to listen. Have conversations with your child. Listen to what they're saying. The other thing that I try to get parents to understand is the developmental periods of a child's life. And that's what Mike was, I think, referring to when he said about the different stages. Understanding what happens in those stages. Like the first stage is from when they're born to 7, and it's called the imprint period. And in that period, there's nothing in that child's mind. So everything is absorbed from the environment, which is you. So be careful what you plant in that child's mind in that time period. The second period is called the modeling period, and that's from 7 to 14. That's where I see the biggest problem. A lot of parents will bring their child to me, and that's where everything happens because it is exactly what it says it is. It's modeling. They model behavior of other people, of movie stars. They start watching TV, they branch out. And so you're the best parent in the world, but you send your child to school with some parent who isn't the best parent, and they become friends with them. So now they pick up the patterns of that child. They pick up patterns of many things. So that is a huge problem. And think about that period. That's where they go through puberty. That's where changes start happening. And so they're starting to form their own identity. So there's different things in that period that you need to look for. The third one is the socialization, and that's from 14 to 21. And that's when they break away from that modeling period and they become individualized. So those are things that I touch on just to kind of teach you and know what to look for in those periods. I teach the children a lot about visualization. And what that is we were always taught as kids not to dream. Stop daydreaming. I want your kids to dream. I want them to think big, and I want to get them calmness in mind. So I do think that meditation is huge for kids. And some people look at me and think, oh, that's so silly. But it's not. I mean, I teach it to adults, and it's really effective in kids because it gets them to calm down. And, especially kids with ADD and ADHD, kids that can't focus, kids that aren't organized. That is absolutely huge to teach them that. I teach them how to do a vision board, plant their dreams, their goals, and put it on a board. And it plants it on the screen of their mind. I also teach faith. And that's difficult because some people will come in my office and they say, I don't believe in God, and I don't believe in heaven, and I don't believe in this, and I don't believe in that. And that's okay if that's where you're at. But they have to believe in something of a higher power than the parents. Because if the parent is the higher power, and you lose control, what's going to happen to your child? Where are they going to go? So to implement faith and intuition, those types of things, it's really effective in children. And with me talking about the different developmental periods of a child's mind, I teach a lot about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind because people don't understand it. There's no critical factor in children. So in that imprint period, there's nothing for the children to compare the information to. You could tell your child when they're really tiny that the sky is black, and they have no reason not to believe you because they don't have anything to compare that information to. So I teach about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So what is that? Okay, the conscious mind is your reasoning mind. So every thought that comes into your mind every day, you have the ability to accept it or reject it. But once you do that, you now just put it into your subconscious mind. And that's what produces your actions. So your thoughts produce your feelings, and your feelings produce your actions. And if you want to change your actions, you have to start by changing your thoughts. So whatever's in your subconscious mind, that's what's going to show here. That everything that you do, all the results you're getting, is based on that.